hey, we all work on YouTube here on a day-to-day basis. We work on various platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Kick. We have Side Scrollers Plus, which is great. But YouTube, a lot of our viewerships comes from there, and we like to think, YouTube is a really, honestly, it's a good platform. It is a very good platform. But there's a lot of change that has happened over YouTube over the last, 10, 15 years since its initial launch, I guess 20 years ago now. And a lot of this stems from the multiple CEOs who have gone in and made changes made various content changes or policy changes when it comes to content. We saw several years ago the adpocalypse that happened because of various things. Now the big controversy is AI, artificial intelligence, and how it is both moderating the platform and content that is being produced for the platform with AI. First, before we get into the story, do y'all have any hard stances on AI when it comes to content creation? Is this something that you will not use, or are you open to using AI for content creation?
So with creative projects that require writing and artwork, all human-based, 100% all the time. But like editing, I use AI to edit my audio because it can just go through and pick out the best takes, remove the retakes, fix the levels. So from a technical standpoint, I'm all about that. But if it's like generative AI to take away artists' jobs, I'm strictly against it.
Wait. There's a way you can edit your audio with AI. If you do you just give it the script and it'll take out it'll give you your best takes and stuff? Well, what is that?
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you off air because
okay.
I've learned not to give my competitors all my secrets, but I got a system down that I can knock out 60% of my work time. So
interesting.
I think that is interesting though, because that's what AI. That's the advantage of AI, is it cuts down your workflow dramatically, right? You can get things done, be more efficient, and that's why I like it. Arch, what are your thoughts on AI? Would you use AI for content?
I use it for thumbnails occasionally because I have a specific image in mind, and that image doesn't actually exist, so it's very easy to go to Grok and just go like, okay, make this for me, right? Using it as an assistant too, I have no real problems with whatsoever. Creatively as well, I don't mind so long as it's used responsibly, I guess. See, the thing is, I view AI as a potential democratizing tool when it comes to making stuff, because right now the only people who can make things with real scope scale in terms of like TV shows or movies are the people who have a lot of money to do so. AI could potentially allow the average Joe to make his own stuff with a minimum of investment, which I like the idea of. So I am not in theory against AI, and I see why people want to use it, but I largely view it as a tool that the little guy should use. I don't like it when Coca-Cola uses it. I don't like it when McDonald's uses it, as they did recently for one of their ads, because these people should be expected to be able to actually, pay for the art and the content they produce. Yeah, a multi-billion-dollar corporation doesn't need AI to make a commercial.
Right.
Agreed.
It's interesting because for me, I always go back to what is the cutoff? At a certain point of revenue, are you allowed to, when are you allowed to not use it? Well, we generated $1 million for revenue, so now you can't use AI. Or, is it $10 million? Is it $1 billion? At what point are you no longer allowed to use it in the creative process? I don't know. That's very subjective.
True. Like, it is very subjective. And it's very difficult to make any kind of general sweeping rules about anything like this, which is why I largely just refer to my gut on this. Like, okay, if it's a single individual who does it, I don't feel particularly upset. When McDonald's releases an AI advertisement, I am upset because, like, okay, you can afford it. There might be, like, again, like you say, like a difficult cutoff point, but I sure as fuck know that McDonald's ain't it.
Right. Yes, McDonald's. And here's the thing. AI it will be, and it continues to be a hot button topic. I mean, even in our chat, some people are like, hell yeah. And some people are like, fuck no. Is very, you find people, a lot of creatives. Honestly, I think it comes from the fear of the unknown, right? Whenever something new, a new tool happens, there's a lot of like resistance against. I mean, go back to the printing press, right? Oh, we're going to replace our job, and ultimately what happened was innovation and well, yes, less people were actually writing out scripts, and then but it made
the
things more
difference
efficient.
is generative AI is technically stolen from other people's artwork. The people that have taken the time, that have put in the money, that have worked. So like if I can go to Grok and say, give me Batman that looks like it's drawn by Jim Lee, it just scanned thousands of pictures that guy drew. And I'm not saying like he's hurting for money, but when it comes to that kind of creative stuff, I do, because like it's a different beast to make this stuff. We'll just stick with the comic stuff, but that's like a different beast. If somebody's coming in with AI, they're selling stolen artwork. Then they're going to say, well, it's theirs. And then they're going to make money off of other people's work. And that's where I have an issue. Because from like business, I look at it as like, if you're one guy, I'm with you, Arch. McDonald's has thousands of employees, tens of thousands, and they own so much property in America. They can afford it. But like, if I'm trying to, set up a business, like a global thing, and I needed to run all these other tasks, I'm for it. But I think that's why I'm so strict about it, Craig, because I'm not against it at all. I research and I use it a lot. But if you're taking other people's work to build your own work, I think that's scummy, and there really isn't a way to like justify it to me.
Yeah, and I hear you on that. But I think we're going to reach a point where yes, most of what you're seeing now is built on other people's work, other people's art style, things like that. But I think this is a small window in the Venn diagram where eventually it will be able to take its own thing and create its own style, maybe perhaps. But like I said, regardless of how you feel about AI, I see it as a tool. I'm very upfront saying that we will be using AI to create some shows moving ahead. I think that if you don't use it, I said this yesterday on the show when we were out in Florida. Look, if you're against AI, I totally understand it, right? I know George, we've had him on the show several times. He is an extremely talented guy, right? My only question is, when it comes to AI, is do you use Photoshop? Do you use autofill? Are you autofilling a color on that? Well, if you're autofilling a color, you're not doing it hand by hand. You know what I mean? Once again, it goes to where's the line? But I see people who are like, the best analogy I can give is somebody standing on a beach who is holding up a sign that is saying no AI, and there's a giant fucking wave of AI that's about to engulf them, right? They're going to drown. And because AI is here, it's here, it's going to be here, and you better embrace it, or at least leverage it in some way, shape, or form. It's not going back into the ketchup bottle, So with all that said, yes.
There are cases where you couldn't do something logistically without AI. Like I'm working on a fantasy setting along with Sargon, and we wanted a very specific style for the artwork we wanted. So we've got cards, we've got 120 cards, and we're like, okay, we would like to have some art on these cards. So we sat down like, okay, how long will it take us to produce all of this art in the style that we want, assuming we could find an artist capable of replicating precisely what we wanted? And we came up with a number of 360 weeks. Right. And we're like, okay. Yeah, no. Grok, can you do this? And Grok does. I'm like, okay, well, fuck. We either wait 360 weeks or we launch with this, and we are open with people and go like, okay, we want to have actual art. When we get the time, we want to hire actual artists to replicate all of this. But until then, we're not going to wait like 3-4 years to do it. So
let me say this, man. We are, and I see the chat being like, yes, AI will destroy humanity. I think that there's so many layers to this discussion, right? But and we haven't even got to this damn story, but we'll get to this in just a minute about YouTube and AI. But we have a show we're working on that's an animated show, and we are I've been working on this for months, and I think this show really has an opportunity to be successful. But I had an animator put together an animation for this. It took them 6 weeks, right? We then took that animator and said, hey, make keyframes of the start of these individual scenes, and we'll have AI fill in between it with the animations. Arch, it was done in 90 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Like the simple problem is, like, I have literally made thousands and thousands of dollars worth of custom art for my various law series.
Mm-hmm.
I have not skimped on this. I have employed dozens of artists over the time of my career. I've got several on active payroll right now. I have been a massive patron of the arts in the modern age for this. But okay, an artist, I give him like, make me this. It takes a month, and I get it. And it's great quality. It's what I want. I'm happy with it. I'm happy to pay for it. But the AI can do it in 30 seconds. Like, it's just, at one point, we do need to face reality and go, okay, this isn't going to stop. Like you say, Craig, like, this
Right.
isn't something we can just close our eyes to and ignore. It's just not going to happen.
Well, it depends, because there's a lot of lawsuits looking into AI, because it's not just like, it literally will take images that are copywritten and pull them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm friends with a lawyer. He's a close friend. And he's like, this stuff isn't as locked in as people think. And if copyright law gets involved with it, certain elements will get taken away. I'm not saying AI is going away. That's silly to say it. But based on conversations I've had with him, if they can prove you stole this, and this, there is a ramification down the road with generative AI for art. I think it's fascinating what you can do with animation. And what is that? The one, Sora? I have that. I haven't even played around with it. That's crazy what you can do with it. And I think it's a lot of fun for like internet-based stuff. I think it's hilarious. But I don't think we're
there are possible legal remedies. But I think it's going to be extraordinarily hard to point to a certain piece of generated AI content and go, that came specifically from this thing.
Right. Look, it's going to be an ongoing discussion, not for days or weeks, years and decades.
Forever.
And it's a nonstop thing. I saw somebody mention in the chat, they said, if you can't ignore the digital age, you can't ignore the AI era, right? And it's here. It's here, whether we like, and it happened quick, didn't it? Right? This is 2-3 years. AI became a thing. ChatGPT became a thing. And all of a sudden it's here. These are billion-dollar companies. Now, speaking of billion-dollar companies, YouTube CEO, Neil Mohan, I think is how you say his name, told Time Magazine. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the AI moderation stuff that was going on with where they were like deleting a bunch of channels with their AI moderation.
Yep.
Well, they are more or less tripling down on this here. It says AI will make our ability to detect and enforce violative content better, more precise, and able to cope with scale. Every week, literally, the capabilities get better. Talking about how they're going to use it to combat misinformation scams and AI slop. The irony of using AI to combat AI slop, there is definitely something there. It's funny because going back to the AI slop aspect of this, some people see AI slop as anything that's made with AI, like literally anything. And some people said it just goes down to your personal level of taste when it comes to, well, it crossed over at this for me, and they can't exactly put their finger on it, but they know it when they see it, right? And I understand that, but I mean, we've also, like, people say TikToks or TikTok slop or AI slop or whatever, and we've all seen the AI videos of the guy going with the generic AI voice, like, can you believe this is the thing, and it's always the same AI voice every single time, and that's kind of what they mean. But so yeah, AI YouTube is doubling and tripling down on that. So
it was,
and go on.
I was just gonna say, like, I get the irony. I guess since I'm a creative person, like, I'm not trying to gatekeep or hold the bar, but like, if you can create something, go ahead and do it. And if you can use it to, like, basically, I just don't like when people that don't really know how to do the thing are using it, and it's detrimental to the whole, like, it poisons the well in a way. Because it's, after a certain point, like, it'd be like, to me, I look at what AI slop is like 6-7 or Skibbity Toilet or garbage that adds nothing to the conversation. People are like, well, it should be there because it's a freedom of speech, and that's fine. But I should have the right to criticize it the same way. Not everything is as valuable as, just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean it's equally valuable or equally dangerous. Stuff like that. I think YouTube's gone way overboard with a lot of its what's the word I'm looking for? Just the way it handles things. Because I've been on here for 10 years, and the way they handle stuff now versus the way they did then, it's day and night. And I don't know if it's going in the direction that's good for the creator. It's more commercial than ever. It's like,
Oh yeah,
now they use AI to cut. Remember, like when you had to put your own ad breaks in? Now
Right.
it's like AI reads when there's a natural slowing down, and you're like, oh, there's an ad. I think that's where YouTube's headed. It's just like a big commercial.
Epsilon Sama says you will be replaced. We all will be replaced. 100%.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We 100% will be replaced for sure. Well, we'll continue to talk about AI on the channel. It'll be an ongoing discussion for a long time. And like I said, we will embrace the tools that we have in front of us, and you will see those tools in 2026.
It's not going to save you from Skynet, Craig. I'm just letting you know when the machines do rise.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. It will not save us.
There's no Schwarzenegger coming to save the day, John Connor.
No.
You're done.
Nope. Obey YouTube. Watch this video. It's suggested for you.